एक खुशगवार शाम बखैर और आप सबको द ब्लैक होल के नाइल ऑडिटोरियम में खुशामदीद। हालिया चंद ही बरसों में आप भी देख रहे होंगे कि एआई ने करीबन हर शोबा हाय ज़िंदगी को मुतासर किया है। चैटबॉट्स हों या ख़ुदकार मुआवनीन, अर्ज़ा या बिला मुआवजा दस्तियाब टूल्स और ऐप्स, और इस सब से लेकर तिब, तालीम, साइंस, मौसीकी, लिखना लिखाना, आर्ट्स, कारोबार या एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, यहाँ तक कि जंगी हिकमत अमली तक करीबन हर जगह ही मसनूई ज़हानत के फुटप्रिंट्स हमें दिखाई दे रहे हैं। दुनिया की बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज़, बड़ी बड़ी हुकूमतें अरबों डॉलर्स की सरमायाकारी कर रही हैं और इस दौर में सबकत हासिल करने की कोशिश में हैं। और जो कंपनीज़ हैं वो भी एक दूसरे की वो रीस में या दौड़ में आपके सामने ही है कि नित नए टूल्स ला रही हैं। बाज़ औक़ात ये भी नहीं मालूम होता कि उसके साइड इफ़ेक्ट्स क्या होंगे वगैरह। कई एथिकल क्वेश्चंस भी हैं वगैरह, लेकिन उस मौजू को भी हम छोड़ देते हैं। आज हम ये देखना चाहेंगे कि ये सारा कुछ, सारा मंजरनामा जो हमारे सामने है, क्या ये एक बिग बैंग या एक टेक्नोलॉजिकल इनकलाब की दस्तक है जिसके आगे कोई पुल नहीं बांधा जा सकता, या ये एक बबल है जो बिलाखिर कई दूसरी इस तरह की इनोवेशंस की तरह क्या कहते हैं बर्स्ट हो ही जाएगा। आज हमारी गुफ्तगू का उन्वान है जो आप बोर्ड पे लिखा हुआ देख सकते हैं, बबल और बिग बैंग क्वेश्चन मार्क, द स्टेट ऑफ एआई इन 2026। इस दिलचस्प मौजू पर गुफ्तगू के लिए वी हैव आवर गेस्ट स्पीकर अल्तमुश खान आतिश। इज़ अ वेरी टैलेंटेड पर्सन, फाइवर प्रो सेलर हैं, सीजनड गेम डिज़ाइनर हैं विद एक्सटेंसिव एक्सपीरियंस, हैविंग सर्व्ड एज द फॉर्मर लीड गेम डिज़ाइनर एट द गेम स्टॉर्म स्टूडियोज़ एंड एप्सोलॉजिक्स। आप अपने कैरियर में एंड्रॉयड, iOS और पीसी की 100 से ज़ायद ऐप्स जो हैं वो डिज़ाइन कर चुके हैं। इसके अलावा आप फ़िलॉसफी enthusiast हैं, ख़ास तौर पे जो एंशिएंट फ़िलॉसफीज़ हैं उनमें आपकी दिलचस्पी है। आई शुड नॉट फॉरगेट मेंशनिंग, बहुत अच्छे म्यूज़िक कंपोज़र हैं, बहुत अच्छा गिटार प्ले करते हैं, सिंगर भी हैं। हाल ही में इनकी स्पॉटिफ़ाई पे म्यूज़िक एल्बम रिलीज़ हुई है, ज़रूर आप उसको सुनिएगा। और ये इवेंट शुरू होने से पहले जो यहाँ पे स्पीकर्स पे जो गीत चल रहा था, ये जो सितारे हैं वो भी आतिश ही की कंपोजिशन है। वेलकम आतिश। आप सब लोगों की आमद का भी बेहद शुक्रिया। थोड़ी सी ज़हमत करके अपने सेल फ़ोन स्विच कर लें टू साइलेंट मोड सो दैट देयर इज़ नो डिस्ट्रैक्शन। गुफ्तगू, प्रेजेंटेशन और गुफ्तगू के बाद फ्लोर ओपन होता है रोज़ाना की तरह फॉर Q&A। जब वो मरला आए तो अपना हाथ बुलंद कीजिएगा, थोड़ा सा रुकिएगा कि ये माइक्रोफोन आपके स्पुर्द हो जाए, क्योंकि इसके बिना आपकी आवाज़ से ऑनलाइन ऑडियंस महरूम रह जाएंगे। कम अप विद गुड क्वेश्चंस, चैलेंजिंग क्वेश्चंस, ताकि हम एआई का अच्छा एक तारुफ तो हो जाएगा लेकिन हम उसके मुस्तकबिल के मंजरनामे को ज़्यादा बेहतर तौर पर समझने की कोशिश कर सकें। एंड दैट्स इट। तो चलिए लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दी bill, not billion actually, the $1 trillion mismatch, AI, a boom or doom. Please welcome Altamush Khan Attish.
Right, thank you all for coming. So before I start, I'd like to share a story. Do you people know about Fable? The anthropic, the thing that's going to change the world and everything. Well, I use Fable, and I'm a game developer, and we use simple if-else statements in our game development. So 5 is greater than 2, 2 is greater than 1. Pretty simple stuff, right? There was a task I was assigned, and the task was that I had to take a audio clip and fade it out. So when the clip reaches its last 5 seconds, I had to start fading it out. So there was an issue with the code, and I asked Fable, hey, check my code. I think there's something wrong with it. This is not working properly. Now, I generally didn't know what was wrong. I was testing Fable. Fable said that, listen, your statement, the statement that you've written, greater than, right? It's not running. The else statement is running. When in programming, you have either you do this or that. So if something is true, like if 5 is greater than 2, then you run this. If it's not, then you run the other thing. Fable said, I'll fix it, don't worry about it. Changed my entire code base entirely from start to finish, even though the instruction was simple. I said, I need a fix. Fable was like, your else statement is running. Your else statement is running, and completely changed the logic of each and everything that I wrote in the fix. I was like, okay, probably Fable is making sense, but the code that I wrote was super complex, and it was way more complex than I did not want to give that code to the client. I was like, this is way too complex, difficult to read. I was like, what is wrong with my code? I asked it 5 times because I was like, the way you're explaining it, I can't understand. And do you know what Fable didn't detect? That greater than sign, which I asked 5 times, it had to be converted to a less than sign. That was it. So the greatest AI in the world couldn't change a greater than to a less than sign. It was a simple 1-second fix. And Fable decided to entirely change my code base entirely. That is how unreliable AI is. It just had to convert a less than sign to a greater than sign. Oh, sorry, a greater than sign to a less than sign. And that's when I decided that AI is not really very reliable. It's good for, if I have something and I want to reduce my workload by simply making it type everything, then that's fine. But the logic I have to provide. That's just a story that I was super angry that Fable wasted 30 minutes of my life where I just had to change one sign. So that was super frustrating. Okay. So today we're going to talk about AI, generally speaking, and if you go on YouTube, you'll see AI bubble, and then Anthropic is doing this. OpenAI is going to go bankrupt, and OpenAI doesn't have the money. We've got so many shortages. I'm going to let you decide at the end of the lecture whether AI is going to survive and what's the future of AI. So I'm going to speak as a game developer. Most people do not know this, but in the world of game development, AI has been a thing for a very long time. For a very long time, but we had to manage the resources. Even back in the early days when I was working in 2014, when AI wasn't a thing, right? We had AI in game development. Now, the problem with AI is that it requires a lot of resources to run very simple operations. And because of this, we had to limit the number of AI processes that we will use at one time. Because if we used a lot of them, then our game would run very slow. And that brings us to basically the part where we are going to talk about data centers as soon as the slides turn on, because that is the first thing that I want to cover. So if you do not know this, your computer can become a data center, like your computer that you use regularly. It can also become a kind of a data center, a small one, of course, not really a data center, but something that can basically be used to run an AI model. However, you need to have a lot of RAM, a lot of storage for that. I need the slides. Okay, so why do these AI models need data centers? You'll see that right here. Basically, a large amount of data is processed by these AIs. And data centers are essentially buildings that have stacks of GPUs and other computer components. And AI models run on those. Data is processed through them, and they produce a lot of heat. They require a lot of energy, sometimes as much as a small city. And the reason why I haven't covered it in these slides is because there's so much data already on it. So in order for AI to work and continuously grow and stronger models to exist, you need large data centers and larger data centers to process the data in real time and then come up with the answer that the user requires. If your model is powerful, it will require more power than the model before it. So you'll always be making more data centers. You will always need more energy. And if you look at YouTube videos these days and take a look at data centers, AI data center crisis, you'll find that data centers are actually being canceled and data centers are being delayed. Why is that the case? If AI was supposed to be the future, why are these companies suddenly delaying the construction of AI data centers? If you think about that, like, why is that the case? Most people also do not know this, that the grids that these data centers run on simply cannot provide the energy that the data centers require. And power shortages are also a thing that are happening in the US due to data centers. You can look it up, like it's horrible over there. So AI requires processing. AI requires processing massive data sets to learn, adapt, and make predictions both during initial training and for real-time inference. But this is the key point: real-time inference. And most of us that are in the game development field have kind of understood this. That as soon as AI is getting better, whatever that means, the processing is getting slower for some reason, and it's also getting more expensive. So now, first we had a subscription model. Now some AI companies are charging token-based pricing. Token-based is basically whenever you write something, in short, whenever you write something, that's a token. That single letter, word, that's a token. So they have switched to that kind of pricing. Next slide, please. So GPUs, as stated previously, that GPUs are primarily used in these data centers, and GPUs, gamers know this. If you play games, you know this. GPUs produce a lot of heat. They produce a lot of heat, and they consume a lot of power. And you've got stacks of them. So, well, if you want AI, you're going to produce heat. You're going to damage the environment. They produce a lot of heat, consume a lot of power. Multiple passes are sometimes required with data centers. So if you have to train AI, you don't just give it data once. You sometimes have to give it over and over again. So power is consumed, then power is consumed again, then again, then again, until the AI starts passing tests. So this is not a one-time thing. This is a thing that's just going to go on and on and on. Next slide, please. So another thing that data centers require is massive cooling. And if you know this, massive cooling means you require more energy. So not only on top of the data centers requiring energy, you also need cooling. And then you can also run small data centers at home, which is something that I think is the future, basically. As a game developer, I can basically see this happening. I'll talk about it during the last slides. Basically, these data centers are designed to give you the result that you're looking for as quickly as possible. If you have the machine at your home, you will be able to get the same result. Just it'll take 20 minutes, probably more, especially if it's a prompt that requires a lot of processing. Next slide, please. By the way, these AI companies are a business. So in order to provide a good service, they want to be fast. So that's the reason why they want a lot of data centers so they can basically process data. Because if they don't, then the company that answers quickly is actually going to be the one that is basically going to be preferred over a company that doesn't basically is going to be preferred over a company that doesn't produce the results in a quick amount of time. So data centers, the reason why these companies want data centers is so that they can deliver the results in quickly and therefore keep their customers happy. So a number of companies are actually, at the moment, they are promoting data centers that you can use in your house. And AMD came up with that. It was a very beautiful looking box, actually. I mean, if you love computers, you just buy it, even if you don't want to like run a data center. It's a very beautiful box. It's like, it looks like something out of science fiction. That beautiful product that AMD has come up with, which is specifically designed to run AI models, open source models, any model that you want, and you can basically run AI without being connected to the internet. So if you have that machine, you can run a model, and it's going to basically do the same thing that these AI companies offer. Except that even those models are trained on something, so you need data centers to train those models as well. You can use uncensored models, which is important, by the way. You can use uncensored models or open source models without restrictions. They'll be quite slow to respond to prompts. This is something that I've said as well. First of all, these AI companies, they provide models, but they have got restrictions. So you can just write anything, and they're not going to give you a result. They have got guardrails. Whereas some open source AI models are uncensored. You can ask them anything, and they're going to answer. And one of the coolest AIs that I use still is Venice AI. Most people do not know about this, but that's the uncensored, anonymous, private AI service provider. Venice AI. It's a very good one, especially if you want to produce good art. That is basically a very, very good AI company. And they are unrestricted. So you can basically write anything, it's going to basically answer. Next slide, please. So I want to talk a bit about training data. Most people do not know about this, but training data can be large, it can be small, it can require more energy, it can require less energy. It really depends on what the model is designed for. So if you do not know this, AI is just software. And there are multiple components that are working together to basically provide a solution. So this is what happens. When you have a particular AI model, you give it data and it processes it. So the data that is being used to train an AI depends on what kind of AI it is. Okay? So that part people don't really understand, but sometimes this data can be very large, it can be very small. Like if you have an AI that's supposed to produce music, that AI is going to be fed music from as early as probably 30s. So much music, multiple passes, require a lot of energy. So AI is just a piece of software that's very good at learning. However, it requires data to be fed by a human. It is only as good as the data that it receives, which is another thing that people don't know. AI is only as good as the data that it is provided. And if the data is bad, the AI will not be good. And who produces good data? intelligent human beings, valuable human beings. So AI gets better when it gets better data, which is produced by human beings. Next slide. Okay, the hallucination and reliability problem. Remember that greater and less than sign thing that I was talking about? Well, there have been times where AI has actually deleted entire production databases and then apologized for doing that. In programming and basically deleting your database entirely, the production database, is the death of your project. AIs have actually done that. They have actually done that. AI, just like many other platforms, are designed to keep you engaged. So ChatGPT, I wouldn't say much that about Claude, but especially ChatGPT and Gemini are actually designed to keep you engaged. They want you to keep asking them questions. And that's the reason why sometimes when you ask them a question, they ask you a question, because they want you to start using them. And because these companies are moving to a token-based pricing model, the more you ask, the more money they'll make. So they probably want you, they probably are designed to give you the answer that will keep you engaged. So that's one of their main goals. And most AIs will respond even if they do not know the answer. That happens quite often. Whereas I ask a question, the AI actually, I know for certain that the answer probably they won't know because it's not available on the internet. So in fact, I use AIs mainly, well, not mainly, but sometimes to ask questions that the answer I haven't found online. So this happens often. And because the answer is not online, it literally hallucinates the answer from nothing. Once I asked about an amplifier. There was an amplifier that I was using. It didn't have the information that I required. It told me to connect that amplifier to my computer, and it's going to act as an audio interface for my computer. That was wrong. It was designed for a firmware update, but I just hallucinated that answer, which is quite surprising though. And the reason why I did it is because that amplifier, mine was a Nux Mighty 40BT. It had information about the Nux Mighty MK2BT. It got the answer from there because that actually has the audio interface feature, whereas my amplifier didn't. So because it had data from that, it said that this is an audio interface. So the last point is they will still give an incorrect answer even if the prompt is mostly or entirely correct. So they do give incorrect answers. I said, this is my amplifier. It has a USB interface. I would like to know what it does because I cannot find the information on the internet. It said it's an audio. It's supposed to be connected to your computer so that you can use it as an audio interface. That wasn't true. That is true for another amplifier called the Nux Mighty MK2. That wasn't mine, but data for that is available, so it just generated the answer. Next slide, please. So you must know that these companies, the reason why they want to keep you engaged is because in the end they want to make profit. By the way, you can look it up on the internet. These companies have not made a profit. They're burning money. They haven't made a profit. None of them have, in fact. So profit is the main goal of these companies. They haven't made it. And that's the reason why they want to keep you engaged. If you take a look at OpenAI's CEO, he says that AI is the future. Subscribe to us. Always says that all the time. Most people that use ChatGPT are not paying for it. Reliability can be a problem, and a human is almost always required. Do you guys know about the Builder AI scandal? Do you know about that? Well, a Builder AI was this big company that was producing templates or app solutions using AI. You would write something. I want a personalized news app. You'd get it without writing code. You want a special weather app with cool cartoon characters. You'd get it. Amazing, right? Quite amazing. You just write it, you get a mobile app completely functioning. Well, Builder AI was actually 700 Indians. That's what it was. The Builder AI was 700 Indians working in India, and they were building the app. It was never AI. Right? Next slide. Okay, so recent developments. This is what I want to talk about. Fable had guardrails. If you go and try to use Fable, you cannot use it. It's because the US government asked Anthropic to take Fable down. Somebody jailbroke it. Fireship, the YouTube channel Fireship, has a very good video about it. A jailbroken AI is very dangerous, especially one that is as powerful as Fable. Basically, you ask it anything, especially the knowledge that's available that it actually knows from the internet, probably even from the dark web. I'm not sure about the dark web thing though. But there are certain things that you can ask AI, which it says I will not answer because that is dangerous. When Fable got jailbroken, the most powerful model in the world would answer anything, which is dangerous. Like it could basically aid you in committing a crime. So basically, it was totally stopped by the U.S. government, and that's the reason we can't use Fable anymore. So risky for business to rely solely on AI. Yep, that's me. I was relying on AI at one time, and it basically, in fact, recently it completely destroyed a function of mine. I'm not talking about that greater than less than one. That was a silly mistake. It destroyed the complete audio system that I wrote for my game. I wanted it to basically expand it. It didn't expand it properly. I was using agents. You remember when AI agents are going to be the future and they're going to do all the work for you? Yes, it did do the work for me. It just wasn't correct. Okay. So AI degradation is a real thing. You must have heard this. This started happening in 2024 and the beginning of 2025. That AI image generation and AI prompts and how it responded, the results started getting smaller and everything. That was because AI was being fed its own data. So the data that was on the internet, which was bad because it was created by internet, AI was basically using that data to learn. So it was learning from the data that it produced on its own and progressively got worse. There is a huge amount of evidence for that. Speed degradation is a real thing. You can actually feel this. If you go back a year ago, this was, you would write something in ChatGPT, you would get the answer very quickly. But now it takes a while. Now it's slow. And also, if you've got code completion tools or completion tools in general, they are slower. And sometimes they don't work at all. So this is actually something that people can see. It is getting slower. Agents are also getting slower. So that is happening, and that is mainly because of the huge demand, which is not being met by the data centers. Next slide. Okay, so I am mentioning Oracle and OpenAI, who have recently delayed or canceled construction of AI data centers. That is basically because of lack of power on the grid. But there's also another thing too. They were making data centers because they thought that the demand will be pretty high. They were wrong. The demand wasn't that high, so they canceled it. This will be mentioned in another slide. AI resistance is also a real thing. People, whenever there is a meme on the internet right now that there was this person who was buying a phone, and the salesman said, "Oh, this has a cool AI feature." So the person said, "Okay, so how do I switch it off?" This has become a very common thing. That if there is an AI service, many people are just saying, I want to switch it off. I don't want anything to do with this. Like AI also, well, can take your data without you knowing about it. We do not know it can do that. So people have are basically losing trust in AI. It's becoming a thing. Yeah, you can see when AI is mentioned these days, especially on some YouTube videos, especially in the US, when people say AI, they get booed. Like whenever the mention of AI comes, people start booing. So there's a huge resistance. Okay, so price inflation for the regular computer builder. I haven't upgraded my computer yet because at this right now it's not a wise idea. Prices are just like way too high for computer components due to this, which again makes people hate AI and AI companies in general, because the normal consumer cannot upgrade their system as easily as they could in the past. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I mentioned this before, that data centers may have outpaced real demand. So another thing too is that the recent developments, and of course, if you take a look at many articles that are on the internet right now, most users simply do not pay for AI. They don't. At least the people that I know that I contact regularly, only one of them pays. One of them pays for internet. The rest don't. When that prompt comes that you cannot use this for another day, they wait for another day. They don't pay. So most users do not pay for AI. Therefore, the companies are not making profit, but the data centers are being used, energy is being consumed, and everything. And so far, they are not running any ads, as far as I know. Another thing that you may know, and in fact, I'm wrong. Most people do not know this. AI startups usually fail. There was this time where AI was everything. AI is this, AI is that. And most of these companies that started, like, we are doing this in AI, that, where are them? 98%, I think it was 98% of them are gone. Quite a large number of these companies that were AI startups. They're not, we don't hear about them anymore. We are only hearing about OpenAI and its attempt to get money from the US government. Anthropic, I do not know what they are basically doing. They were the data center thing is the only thing that's really in the top news right now. So that's basically the thing with these AI companies. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is another recent development. In fact, it happened in 2025 as well, that people who were fired to be replaced by AI, they are being rehired. And the reason for that is that companies found out that AI cannot replace AI cannot replace computers. Okay, AI cannot replace human beings properly. So they found out, and they found out because AIs were marketed that, oh, they're going to do this, oh, they're going to do that. I was using DistroKid for my music. I had to release my music. When my album was created. By the way, do give my album a listen. It's on Spotify. It'll greatly help me. And I'm also open to basically working on music projects if you have them. So this is what happened. I contacted DistroKid, their support agent. Guess what the agent will be? It was an AI. Yeah, I was like, I need help. I'm not getting the text message that I need to verify my account. The DistroKid agent said, well, you have to contact the DistroKid customer support and tell them about your problem that you're not getting the verification text. I was talking to the DistroKid customer support. And the AI said, you need to contact the customer support of DistroKid and find out what the problem is. The AI itself did not know that was working for DistroKid. Okay. Yep. So, previous slide, please. Thank you. So, the exact numbers, I think it was like 200 billion or something. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was 120 billion that OpenAI has probably burned or is projected to burn, basically. So again, AI companies have so far not presented a real, like, when you take a look at plans, you can tell that, okay, fine, this is a solid plan. No company so far has come up with a solid plan. The investors really do not know how they're going to make profit from this technology. They're just promised that this is going to, like, change the world. These are all promises. Basically, AI is all about promises and promises and promises. Next slide. Okay, so this is a very big development, which most people do not know this. In a business, you need to calculate, like, okay, if I'm spending this much money on AI, how much return it is giving. Because of the token-based pricing that most AI companies are using, it is either very difficult, according to some people, impossible to tell what the ROI will be. Although I do not believe it's impossible, I can tell from my experience. I spend a subscription, basically. I have a subscription for Copilot. However, it's just going to give me, if I use the agent, I can probably get it to do 6 or 7 tasks before all of my usage is gone, which is very small. So if I continue to buy more usage, this is going to turn into something like $40-50 for typing tasks. Just for typing tasks, $40-50, which is I can hire somebody on Fiverr to do it, and it's going to be cheaper. Basically, this is a very recent development that people are saying that if you have got token-based pricing, we do not know how we can calculate the ROI. Like, if you're spending this much money, like, what are we getting back? This is something that is a very recent development. It's a very important one, actually, that because with token-based pricing, you can't really get the ROI. So this investigation sometimes leads to humans doing the work that AI was supposed to do. This was, again, Builder.ai. I already mentioned them. I believe that Amazon also got in trouble. There were these Amazon stores where you could actually pick something up and you would walk out and they'll charge you for it. They said it's AI. It wasn't AI. It was, again, Indians who were just looking at people who were buying stuff and charging them for it. So basically it was that. So AI sound confident even when they are completely wrong. So the prompt that I got for that amplifier, right? That amplifier prompt that this is an audio interface, it was super confident that you've got an audio interface connected to your computer. It did nothing. It sounded super confident, but nothing really happened when it was connected. Next slide, please. So according to MIT researchers, AI has a ceiling. AI will most likely not be able to replace work that depends on human characteristics. So if you want somebody to be liable, okay, you need a human being. AI cannot be liable for anything. Like if I am producing code and that code needs to have a certain level of security because you don't want the data to be stolen. If you ask AI to write that, you release the app, and then there is a security vulnerability. You can't really sue an AI company because they have clearly stated that AI can make a mistake and they've got their backs covered. So if you want to get something done and you want somebody to be liable for it, you'll always need a human being. Secondly, AI cannot make the judgment that a human being can do, and they also don't have empathy so far. Although people do say they have got empathy, I don't think so they do. At least minds don't, that we use in game development. Okay, so a Harvard Business Review study, it was revealed that companies replaced their staff with AI based on AI's potential. That's been proven. That the promises and the potential, they just replaced them because they were like, if AI is going to improve, you want to be ready for it. The AI did not improve. It did improve, but not enough that it would completely replace human beings. So there you go. Next slide, please. So jailbreaks are still possible. If you've got guardrails, they're still possible. People are using AI regularly in companies, and if they're jailbroken, And if the AI has access to the data, an employee can basically steal company data. That can very well be possible. Prompt injection is still an issue. You can use prompts to basically ask AI to do things which wasn't designed to do, which then again creates a huge problem, because with prompt injection, what you're basically doing is you're basically breaking the AI and making it break its own rules. So one of the examples was that I believe it was a company, I don't remember the name of the company, very famous company. It was, I don't think it was Oracle. I don't remember which company it was. So there was this company who had an AI agent set up, right? So programmers were using that AI to write code for them, even though it was a customer support agent. They prompt injected it, and they were using it for free. So that's something that they did. Next slide, please. Okay, so my thoughts now. Relying solely on AI is very risky. It's not worth the risk, because if you have got if you're developing games, you'd probably want to use AI to basically use your snippets and copy them where you require. But it's not really worth the risk to basically ask the agent to write code completely, because it might not copy your style. It might make the code that you're writing less readable, as you probably are writing according to what the client requires, and they can read properly, and AI wouldn't know that. It would write things in its own style, and sometimes they're inconsistent. So you give it one task, it's going to create a function, and then the next function is going to be written a completely different way. It's like two people working on the same project. So I think that AI can be used as a form as human augmentation, right? Where you can use AI as a tool. Like I use this regularly. What I do is I produce music using AI. I take the music, delete the instruments that the AI created, and then add my own. So what I do is I create a composition first, feed it to AI, get the instruments from the AI, delete most of the instruments, add my own, and then I release my music. So it's kind of a tool that's helping me produce music. However, I can add more flavor to my music because AI can add instruments, but I also add my guitar, which gives it that sound which AI cannot produce. It cannot produce the guitar sound that you can get from an amplifier. That's not. I can literally play two songs of mine. One is totally generated by AI, and the other one has my guitar. You'll be able to tell the difference. And most people have said that the second one, which has your guitar, somehow sounds natural. It somehow sounds like it's like it like as if I'm playing it right in the room. For some reason, that's what they say. Oh wow, I did not word the risk twice. I guess I wanted to put a lot of emphasis on that. Okay, next slide. Used to summarize data and solve low-risk coding related problems. I already covered this, that basically you can you can write code, and then you can basically ask AI to check this code and basically ask AI that, is there a problem with the code? They answer well. I mean, they can say that, okay, you can move this over here, you can put this check over there. They offer good suggestions. These suggestions are actually those that human beings have got them in their GitHub, and there are certain things that I might miss, which AI would say, okay, add this, add that. There should be a failsafe over here. Do this, do that. It's fine for that. Like it's good for things like that, in my experience. Agents will be used to save times. However, they need to be taught exactly what to do. This is what I've been doing. So I create a snippet, and let's suppose I have to insert it in 15 places. I don't do it manually. I just take a snippet. I say, this is where I require the snippet to be added. Just add it. Most of the time, it does things correctly. So far, it hasn't let me down. It has only let me down when I do not provide it the snippet, the code snippet, or the template. Then it lets me down. Next slide, please. It's done? Okay, so that's all I wanted to cover. So basically, as a game developer, this is what I'm going to tell you. you have heard what I said. You can go, this will lead you to a path where you can watch YouTube videos and you can analyze the things that I've said, and you can also ask me questions about my game development thing and how I'm using AI. Because according to me, when I use AI, I use it to save my time and really just the typing. So I don't have to type a lot. That's literally my primary use of AI. Make me a faster typist. That's basically what I'm using AI for. And also, if there's something that needs to be repeated, I take the snippet, I tell the AI that this is where I require this, and it just copies it. I also use AI to basically test the code and teach me where I'm wrong. Usually it does a good job at telling me that, okay, you can add this, you can add that, maybe you can add a failsafe over here. Sometimes sometimes the suggestions that it gives me there, I don't use them because you also need to make the code readable and easy to read. So sometimes AI just writes code which is good for the machine. It's not good for reading. It's not easy to read for a human being. So this will hopefully allow you to kind of have a perspective from a game developer, and also it will help you understand the current state of AI better. And now you can do your research and decide whether you want to rely on AI tools, whether you want to use it as augmentations, or whether you want to simply give up on AI and just turn every AI feature off and do what we used to do: search and get the answers. Thank you very much.
Should I?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Hamza Ijaz and I'm the CEO at Rapify Solution. I run agency here in Islamabad G11 Markaz. By the way, आपने जो बात की है कि हम लोगों को एआई के ऊपर बिजनेस को रिलाई नहीं करना चाहिए, मैं तो अपना टोटली बिजनेस जो है वो एआई पे रिलाई करके बैठा हूँ. मैं जब भी क्लाइंट्स को हम लोग डील करते हैं तो हम क्लाइंट्स को यही कहते हैं कि वी टर्न योर आइडियाज़ इनटू अ डिजिटल रियलिटी. ठीक है. सो क्लाइंट को एक्चुअली उसके प्रोडक्ट की फील या उसकी वाइब करवाने के लिए हम लोगों को एआई का यूटिलाइज करना पड़ता है. Like Lovable, Rock, Replit, a lot of the other tools that we need to mention over there. मैं उनके ऊपर completely rely करता हूँ. So I think so AI का जो positive utilize है being a founder, वो एक दूसरी चीज़ों से बिल्कुल अलग है. Like एक different सोचने के लिहाज से, लाइक कम्प्लीटली रिलाई करने के लिहाज से वो चीज़ अलग है. लेकिन मैं अपनी चीज़ को जो है वो पूरी प्रॉपरली रिलाई करता हूँ इस चीज़ के ऊपर.
I rely on Suno to produce my music.
सो इट्स अप टू यू. बाय द वे, हम जो कोड की बात कर रहे होते हैं तो कोड जो होता है वो टोटली जो है एक लूप के ऊपर चलता है. लाइक एक स्पेसिफिक डेटाबेसिस के ऊपर चल रहा है, गिटहब के ऊपर चल रहा है, तो वो गिटहब का ही डेटाबेस बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस कोडिंग करके हम लोग को दे रहा होता है. सो आई थिंक सो डेवलपर विल बी रिप्लेस्ड ऑन दिस थिंग. अदर पीपल आर रिप्लेस्ड.
देखिए, अगर आप कंपनी जो है आपकी है, मैं सिर्फ ये कहूँगा कि अगर आपके लिए वो चल रहा है तो चल रहा है, इट्स अ गुड थिंग. लेकिन मैं इसलिए नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि अगर मैं एआई के ऊपर रिलाई करूँ और उसने कुछ गलत कर दिया हो तो क्लाइंट मुझे आके वो आई कैन नॉट से कि भाई एआई ने जो है वो गड़बड़ की थी. दूसरी बात ये भी है, मैं क्लाइंट के हिसाब से कोड कर लिखता हूँ. क्लाइंट्स जो है ना मेरे, वो कोड का एक्चुअली देखते हैं, तो मैं उनके हिसाब से देखता हूँ. उनका एक स्पेसिफिक स्टाइल होता है. तो कभी कभार ये होता है कि एआई पे जब मैं ज़्यादा रिलाई करूँ तो वो जो स्टाइल मिसमैच हो जाता है. वो एक होता है ना कि आपको पता चल जाता है कि किसी और ने लिखा है. तो कभी कभार ये भी हो सकता है कि वो ये कह देंगे ये किसने लिखा है, जबकि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तुम्हारा ही था, तुमने क्या किया है. और कुछ लोग जो कहते हैं वो कहते हैं कि एआई बिल्कुल भी नहीं यूज़ करना जब कोड करते हुए. और दूसरी बात ये भी है कि मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि एआई के ऊपर रिलाई करना मैं अपनी फील्ड के अंदर रिस्की है, मेरी फील्ड में रिस्की है. तो वो इसलिए है क्योंकि कभी कभार वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा मिस्टेक्स ऐसी करता है और राइटिंग स्टाइल चेंज कर देता है कि पता चल जाता है कि ये एआई ने लिखा है. और अगर एआई ने लिखा है इसका मतलब ये है कि आपकी जो इनपुट है वो कम है. और क्लाइंट कभी कभार इस बात पे, बाय द वे, एक दफ़ा ये हुआ था कि मैंने एक ब्रेक डाउन एआई से करवाया था. तो क्लाइंट ने कहा मैं ऐसा बंदा जो कि एआई को इस्तेमाल कर रहा है उसके सामने काम इसलिए नहीं करना चाहता, तुम एक्सपर्ट हो, मैं तुम्हारे पास आया था कि तुम मुझे ब्रेक डाउन करके दोगे, तो इसका मतलब तुम एक्सपर्ट नहीं हो, उसने मुझे प्रोजेक्ट नहीं दिया। भाई उसने कहा था कि तुम एआई यूज़ करते हो, मैं तुम्हारे साथ काम नहीं कर रहा, क्योंकि तुमने जो है वो एआई इस्तेमाल करके ब्रेक डाउन दिया, तुम्हें देना चाहिए था, तुम एक्सपीरियंस बंदे, व्हाई डिडंट यू गिव इट? ये बात है।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। सर रिसेंटली एक यूएस के किसी मैगज़ीन में एक आर्टिकल था कि इन कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ एआई बाय द नेम ऑफ यूट्यूबिफिकेशन ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर। सर द ब्रीफ थीम उसकी ये है कि जिस तरह ये मीडिया इंडस्ट्री जो अभी ये वीडियो ऑनलाइन ऑडियंस भी देख रही है, पहले इट वाज अ बिग थिंग कि स्टूडियोज चाहिए होते थे, बहुत बड़े प्रोडक्शन हाउसेस चाहिए होते थे। नाउ एक कैमरा के साथ भी ये चीज़ हो सकती है। इवन कोई सामने बैठ के छोटी मोटी एक सिग्नल दे के एक टिकटॉक भी बना सकता है, तो इट हैज़ बिकम दैट इजी। तो दे वांट टू से दैट द सॉफ्टवेयर आर आल्सो मूविंग टुवर्ड्स that context. Like if you can think of a problem, let's say मैं कहता हूँ कि नेक्स्ट वीक में हम ब्लैक होल में क्या क्या प्लान करें, और उसमें मैं सोचता हूँ कि एक कैटलॉग बन जाए, उसका एक बैकग्राउंड इमेज बन जाए और उसमें सारे कॉन्टैक्ट्स आ जाएं, तो इट कैन डू दैट। द पॉइंट इज़ कि सर आप इस फील्ड के टेक्निकल आदमी हैं, गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री में ये ऑलरेडी इट इज़ एन ओल्ड कॉन्सेप्ट एआई, हम एज अ लेमैन हमारे लिए नई चीज़ है। तो
मैं सर आपको काटता हूँ, एआई के जो एल्गोरिथम्स हमारे पास बहुत सालों से थे सर, प्रोसेसिंग पावर नहीं थी
सर। गॉट इट सर। सर मैं एज अ लेमैन बस पूछना ये चाह रहा हूँ कि लाइक अगर ये यूट्यूबिफिकेशन हो रही है सॉफ्टवेयर की, या टिकटॉकिफिकेशन हो जाती है, कि मैं कुछ सोचता हूँ और एक आज से 10 साल पहले वाले एक सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर की तरह एक सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप कर सकता हूँ या एक ऐप डेवलप कर सकता हूँ, तो एक सादा आप मुझे सर कोई प्लान दे सकते हैं, या कोई टूल्स बता सकते हैं? मतलब सर मैंने अभी तक ज़िंदगी में ग्रॉक भी यूज़ नहीं किया, और लाइक आई एम नॉन टेक्निकल एज कम्पेयर टू योर फील्ड। तो एज अ लेमैन हम इसको कैसे यूज़ कर सकते हैं, हम इसको कैसे पैसे में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं, इनफैक्ट लाइक सर हम इसका पाई कैसे ले सकते हैं अर्निंग सेंस में? जैसे फाइवर आया था और अपवर्क आया था और कंटेंट बना सकते हैं, तो एज अ कॉमन मैन, एज अ लेमैन, एज अ नॉन ग्रेजुएट ऑफ एआई, तो हम इसको क्या चीज़ सीख सकते हैं? या
आप अभी क्या कर रहे हैं, लाइक अगर
आई एम अ
मैं
सिविल इंजीनियर।
अच्छा, अगर आप सिविल इंजीनियर हैं तो आप एआई से ये सिर्फ अपने आप को लर्न करने के लिए कि दूसरे सिविल इंजीनियर्स क्या करते हैं और उन्हें सोल्यूशंस क्या बनाई थी, लर्न फ्रॉम इट, ब्रेक डाउन्स ले लें, अपने करंट स्किल को इम्प्रूव करें। एआई स्किल काफ़ी अच्छा है क्योंकि उसके पास डेटा होता है। व्हाट यू डू इज़, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग की आपकी कोई लेवल होगी, अपने लेवल को बढ़ाने के लिए, लर्निंग के लिए जो है आप एआई को इस्तेमाल करें। ये लंबा वो है, यानी कि मैं शॉर्टकट नहीं बता रहा कि एआई का वो कैसे करना है, लेकिन आप ये करें कि ये यूज़ ये है, take a look at solutions, massive structures, right? How did they build them? Learn from it. That's the only answer that I can give to you, क्योंकि if I was asked, यानी कि कोई मेरे पास आया कि AI कैसे वो करना है, how to utilize it, मैं तो गेम डेवलपमेंट की बात करूँगा ना, तो AI गेम डेवलपमेंट में कैसे करते हैं, मैं कहूँगा टेम्पलेट्स बना लो। मैं कहूँगा कि टेम्पलेट बनाओ, या कोई एग्जिस्टिंग गेम है तो उसको AI से पूछो कि उसने बनाई कैसे थी ये गेम को, और उसके बाद उसको लर्न करो कि इसके पीछे जो ये प्रोसेस थी क्या थी, कोड कैसे, कोड क्या करता है, क्या क्या चीज़ कैसे चलती है। उसके बाद जो है आप फिर फिर आप उस गेम को एक्सपैंड करें, नए फीचर्स डालें, लर्न हाउ कोड वर्क्स, स्टफ लाइक दैट।
Look here, I am a data scientist. I have just quick 3 points that I want your answers on. as a video game developer, what is your take on algorithmic accountability? And what is the role of an excellent prompt engineering? And the third point, possible repercussions of using AI.
The first point, please.
Algorithmic accountability.
I do not know what that is.
That is, in simple words, for example, if you produce a piece of music using AI and it backfires, so the client is, of course, as a freelancer, the client will reach out to you. How will you resolve that dealing with the algorithm? Or how do you explain? For example, I'm your client. I allow you to use the algorithm. It backfires. How do you handle such cases?
There once happened that AI basically didn't write the correct code. I just told the client that the AI didn't write the code. I apologized and that's it. दूसरे सवाल भी तो थे.
I can be louder even without that. So what about prompt engineering?
What's prompt engineering?
Okay, for example, if I say in a simpler word, I want, okay. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example. For example, I want to make omelette and I take help of AI.
Yeah.
So what is the role of explaining or writing the prompt so well that it generates the right answer?
Oh, that really depends on how the AI is feeling that day. Trust me, they are feeling.
So you're talking about hallucinations?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, like listen, once I uploaded something to Gemini.
Okay.
It swore that it cannot see the image.
Sorry, come again?
It swore that it cannot see the image.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right? It was like there's nothing there. I'm like, I gave you the image. I was trying to get something done. I don't remember what it was. It was like, I can't see it.
Okay, so my last question is, given the fact that AI is working in the cyberspace, so the legal infrastructure has to be global. Do you think it's a fancy dream to regulate AI, or one day we could do that?
No, you can't regulate it.
Really? Okay.
There will be open source models, and there are people who release models that can basically tell you extremely dangerous stuff.
Even I second you, but I wish someday that happens. But I second you on this. Thank you.
So do you think that AI should get better at what it's doing? Because if it gets better, I mean, I feel we won't know the difference between human and AI. It's a very simple question, but still, I feel like, do you think it should get better? Because then originality khatam ho jayegi.
If AI gets better, originality khatam ho jayegi.
Yes, like human nature.
असल में ना मैं आपको उसको अपने म्यूजिक से बताता हूँ, म्यूजिक की वो बताता हूँ. ओरिजिनलिटी होती क्या चीज़ है? What is original? Like, how do you define something that's original?
That is human made, or maybe it has, जैसे आपने example दी थी गिटार की कि पता लग रहा था there was a difference, but if it gets better तो there won't be a difference now.
That's the thing. AI से पहले भी there are many products that were being created using the same systems. ठीक है? AI is a system. So ये उसके systems होते हैं. कभी कभार जैसे कि म्यूज़िक जब मैं प्रोड्यूस करता हूँ सुनो से, तो उसकी जो गिटार है वो सेम होती है, यानी कि उसकी जो टोन है वो सेम होगी. आप इजीली रिकग्नाइज कर सकते हैं कि ये एआई ने क्रिएट किया है. ठीक है? अगर आए भी जो वेरिएशन है, वो वेरिएशन ऐसी होती है कि इंसान को ये पता चल जाता है कि कंप्यूटर ने जनरेट किया. अब मसला क्या है कि डज इट साउंड गुड? येस, इवन बिफोर एआई, रेहाना और ये सारे लोग हैं, ये प्री प्रोसेस देयर म्यूजिक टू हेल रियली. वो इतना प्री प्रोसेसिंग करते थे कि वो आपको लगता ही था कंप्यूटर ने बनाया. ठीक है? मैं ओरिजिनलिटी को इस तरीके से डिफाइन करूँगा, ऐसी चीज़ कि अगर आप करेंगे वो इमीडिएटली पहचानी जाएगी कि आपने की है. ठीक है? एआई की भी अपनी आइडेंटिटीज़ होती हैं, उनकी पर्सनालिटीज़ चेंज जो हैं वो मेरे हिसाब से नहीं होती. ठीक है? जेमिनी का एक तरीका है रिस्पॉन्ड करने का, क्लाउड का एक तरीका है रिस्पॉन्ड करने का, चैट जीपीटी का तरीका रिस्पॉन्ड करने का, वो ज़्यादा चेंज नहीं होती. इनकी कुछ होती हैं चीज़ें कि आपको पता चल जाता है. जहाँ तक आपने ओरिजिनलिटी की बात की, देखिए आर्टिस्ट भी जो है, पर्सन इज मेकिंग आर्ट, देयर आर, you can tell, जो कि at least I'm not in art, but मैंने सुना है कि you can tell कि this was made by this person because there was certain thing which makes them original. Just don't. जो म्यूज़िक के अंदर ये होता है कि जैसे गिटारिस्ट होता है, उसकी जो टोन होती है उसका सिग्नेचर होता है, वो किसी और के पास नहीं होती. AI उसको रेप्लिकेट कर सकती है, लेकिन आपको फिर प्लेइंग स्टाइल से पता चल जाता है कि ये AI ने बेसिकली जनरेट किया था। सवाल का जवाब ये है कि ओरिजिनलिटी ख़त्म होगी। हाँ, उनकी होगी जिनकी ओरिजिनलिटी कोई थी नहीं, जिनको कोई आइडेंटिटी नहीं थी, उनकी होगी। यानी कि जैसे कि फ़र्ज़ करें आप प्रोग्रामर बहुत अच्छे हैं, मैं फाइवर पे मैं एक्चुअली इस चीज़ को इसको ज़्यादा बोलता नहीं हूँ, इस चीज़ के बारे में मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता। मैं बोल देता हूँ फाइवर पे आई अचीव द हाईएस्ट लेवल दैट अ पर्सन कैन अचीव. It does not mean it's instant success. Trust me, it does not. If somebody thinks that being top rated on Fiverr and being a vetted pro on Fiverr means that you're set for life, no, it's not true. Trust me, I know these days are very difficult for me business wise, right? तो उसके अंदर ये होता है कि मेरा जो AI चीज़ नहीं रिप्लेस कर सकती मेरे बारे में, वो कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस जो मैं प्रोवाइड करता हूँ क्लाइंट्स को, जो एक डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस है जिसके थ्रू मैं लेके जाता हूँ उनको मैं क्रिएटिव इनपुट लेता हूँ, फिर उनके हिसाब से उनको मैं वापस जवाब देता हूँ, उनको मैं क्रिएटिव प्रोसेस में इंक्लूड करता हूँ, उनको ये बताता हूँ कि ये चीज़ें रिस्क आगे ये आ रही हैं, ये चीज़ें आ रही हैं, वो मेरा सिग्नेचर है। AI उसको नहीं रिप्लेस करने वाली। AI जेनेरिक लोगों को जो कि टेम्पलेट्स बनाते हैं और ये जो रिसाइजिंग करते हैं या ये चीज़ करने, उसको रिप्लेस कर देगी, और करना भी चाहिए।
इन फ्यूचर आपको लगता है कि वो रिप्लेस कर सकता है
किससे?
AI
किस चीज़ को?
इसी चीज़ को जो ओरिजिनलिटी है या ह्यूमन नेचर है, जैसे आपका
मुझे लगता
experience
है कि वो उन लोग, देखिए ओरिजिनलिटी का मतलब ये है कि आपको कोई सिग्नेचर चीज़ है, यू डूइंग समथिंग which only you can do or somebody can do which is close to, यानी कि सिमिलर होगा, ठीक है? उस चीज़ को AI नहीं रिप्लेस कर सकता। अगर आपका अपना एक सिग्नेचर है वो नहीं रिप्लेस कर सकेगा।
what do you have to say about water consumption, जैसे ChatGPT वगैरह यूज़ करते हैं? I'm not really sure, but मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि
वो
they
कूलिंग
use-
के लिए यूज़ करते होंगे।
no, they use pure water. That is very sad.
No, they use pure water. I'm not aware of what they're
It's just
using.
1% and I think they use it, right?
That's the reason China is having data center under sea now.
तो कौन से ऐसे
They use it for
AI
cooling?
platform?
हाँ, कूलिंग का कूलिंग के लिए यूज़ करते हैं।
Yeah, so AI platforms कोई ऐसे हैं जो कि they're like very helpful or they do not like consume water and maybe they're
They-
eco-friendly.
I mean, they require cooling. That if they do not use water, they'll use something else.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. So,
Like they'll overheat for operation, अपनी operation range से निकल जाएंगे, no?
सर आप ना जो अपनी फील्ड में कोडिंग वगैरह करते हैं उसका जनरली एआई कितना स्कोप जान चुकी है? मतलब मैं और मेरे साथ जो दोस्त हैं हम लोग एम्बेडेड इंजीनियरिंग के अंदर हैं थोड़े, तो हम लोग कंकरेंट कोड वगैरह लिखते हैं थोड़े आर्किटेक्चर लेवल पे, जो टिपिकली वेब डेवलपमेंट में लोग नहीं देखते। जैसे सिंगल थ्रेडेड कोड होता है, थोड़ा सिंपल होता है, फॉर लूप्स हो गए, नॉर्मल लो लेवल डीएसए हो गई थोड़ी सी। तो आपकी फील्ड में वैसे कितना इंक्रोच कर गया एआई? मतलब कितने हद तक कंकरेंसी और नेटवर्क लेयर भी हैंडल कर रहा है, सारी कोडिंग हैंडल कर रहा है, कहाँ तक चला गया? मतलब हमारी फील्ड में अभी तक इतना नहीं इंक्रोच किया, आपकी फील्ड का मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि किस हद तक आ गया है।
आपकी फील्ड में प्रॉब्ली इसलिए नहीं करेगा क्योंकि लायबिलिटी का है ना, कि वो लायबल होना चाहिए, कि ऐसा तो AI अगर
नहीं,
हार्डवेयर
हम ट्राई करते हैं लेकिन वो शायद कॉन्टेक्स्ट।
हाँ ये उसके अंदर इन चीज़ों में ठीक, AI कुछ चीज़ों को मुश्किल है उसके लिए, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा मुश्किल है उसके लिए उसको रिप्लेस करना। मुझे ये भी नहीं पता प्रॉम्प्ट्स क्या होते होंगे। तो मेरी गेम डेवलपमेंट के अंदर, फ्रीलांस गेम डेवलपमेंट में तो
आपका जनरली स्टैक क्या है?
यूनिटी गेम डेवलपमेंट,
यूनिटी के अंदर तो उसमें आई थिंक सी शार्प है।
सी शार्प होती
तो सी शार्प के अंदर जनरली कोड किस किस्म का है? मतलब सिंपल है, सिंगल थ्रेडेड है,
है। स्क्रिप्टिंग,
सिंपल स्क्रिप्टिंग है।
सिंपल स्क्रिप्टिंग है।
ओके
हम्म।
ओके, बट
हम
इंजन लेवल के अंदर जाके तो फिर चीज़ें कंकरेंट की तरफ चली जाती होंगी, या नेटवर्क लेयर वगैरह, या जो थोड़ी इंट्रिकेट चीज़ें होती हैं ज़्यादा टेक्निकली।
हम लोग जो है बेसिकली फ्रंट एंड में ज़्यादा डील करते हैं। अगर नेटवर्क लेयर भी होती है तो वो
हाँ।
बेसिकली APIs के वो होता
या
है
रिसोर्स एलोकेशन वगैरह जो
रिसोर्स एलोकेशन जो है वो यूनिटी ऑटोमेटिकली हैंडल करती
ओके,
है,
ओके।
ठीक है। और जो मैंने जो फुल स्टैक अगर हम कभी करते हैं तो वो
हम्म।
प्ले फैब के ज़रिए करता हूँ यूजिंग देयर उनका SDK है एक, ठीक है। तो उसके अंदर हम लोग API कॉल्स करते हैं। तो ये होती है बात है, यानी कि वो वैसा नहीं है जैसे कि नेटवर्क लेयर होगी, ऐसी बात
तो
नहीं
जो अभी दो इंजन है ना मेरे ख्याल, एक यूनिटी और एक और है।
है। इंजन तो बहुत ज़्यादा है,
नहीं, बट दो मेजर है ना, एक यूनिटी है और एक और है।
तीन कह लें, एक में वो, हाँ, दो अनरियल
गो
इंजन
डॉट है। यूनिटी और एक और
Unreal,
अनरियल।
Unreal, Godot और Unity.
तो उनके अंदर कोई इनसाइडर है कि उधर क्या क्या हिसाब है, एआई यूज कर रहे हैं वो लोग अपनी डेवलपमेंट के अंदर?
हाँ, AI मैं भी यूज़ करता हूँ।
नहीं, वो जो इंजन डेवलपमेंट के अंदर, क्योंकि वहां पे थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है ना।
मैंने इसके बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन मेरे पास नहीं है कि वो यूज़ कर रहे हैं
वो
या नहीं।
कलिजन इंजन बनाना, लाइटिंग इंजन बनाना, इस तरह की चीज़ें थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा टेक्निकल में आ जाती हैं। तो मैं गेज ये करना चाह रहा हूँ कि एआई के पास एग्जांपल्स ज़्यादा है वेब डेवलपमेंट की, तो वेब डेवलपमेंट वो खा गया,
हाँ, वो खा गया।
वो तो खा गया। तो जो थोड़ी नीचे वाली लेयर है, जो सिस्टम्स लेयर है या कंप्यूटर आर्किटेक्चर लेयर है, नेटवर्क लेयर है, रिस्क वगैरह इस तरह की चीज़ें, इनके पास कोई टाइम है या बचे हुए हैं अभी तक?
वो आप बचे रहेंगे। दूसरी बात ये भी है कि
अच्छा,
वेब डेवलपमेंट को
रिटायर हो जाएंगे आराम से।
वेब डेवलपमेंट को उसने ऐसा जितना खाया मेरे हिसाब से नहीं खाया, ठीक है। ये किया है कि वेब डेवलपमेंट को काफ़ी अरसे, यानी कि मुझे लगता है कि वेब डेवलपमेंट का एक ऐसा इंजन आना चाहिए था जो कि टेम्पलेट्स क्रिएट कर सके, ठीक है। क्योंकि बात ही टेम्पलेट्स क्रिएट करने के बाद जो एक्चुअल चीज़ होती है वो सिक्योरिटी होती है, बैक एंड, जो मुझे पता है कि बैक एंड सिक्योरिटी और जो आपका स्पीड,
वो भी
रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस,
नोड ने हैंडल की हुई है वैसे।
ठीक है, की होगी, लेकिन मैं ये क्या था अपने आप कहने की है, ठीक है, मैं की है।
मैंने साल वेब डेव में भी लगाया, तो वो थोड़ा बहुत उधर भी
नोड जेएस ने कर लिया, ठीक है। मेरे हिसाब से ये काफ़ी पहले ये कॉन्कर हो जानी चाहिए थी, क्योंकि फ्रंट एंड जो होता है उसके अंदर बहुत ही माइनर चेंजेस होती हैं, कोई ख़ास वो ऐसा नहीं होता
अब
कि
फ्रंट एंड तो बहुत अरसे से ही
हाँ,
वल्नरेबल था।
अच्छी बात है।
बैक एंड अभी भी शायद थोड़ा चल
बैक
जाए।
एंड होगा, आपको लायबल चाहिए ना, कोई सिक्योरिटी फर्ज करें आप किसी के लिए बना रहे हैं, तो क्या आप एआई को जाके ब्लेम करेंगे कि तुमने गलत करके कोड गलत करके दिया?
जैसे इतने जो फ्रंट एंड डेवलपर है, इनका क्या लगता है क्या होगा फिर?
नहीं, फ्रंट एंड आपको सीखनी पड़ेगी। फ्रंट एंड इसलिए क्योंकि फ्रंट एंड देखिए बहुत अरसे पहले था कि फ्रंट एंड और बैक एंड जो है वो दोनों इंसान को सीखनी चाहिए। कुछ आपको बैक एंड आना चाहिए, कुछ फ्रंट एंड आना चाहिए। और अगर आप फ्रंट एंड कर रहे हैं तो आपको फ्रंट एंड पे ही सिर्फ नहीं रहना ना, फ्रंट एंड की जो दूसरी चीज़ें, यूज़र एक्सपीरियंस, यूएक्स के अंदर चले जाएं, वायर फ्रेम्स के अंदर चले जाएं, इन चीज़ों में चले जाएं। वायर फ्रेम्स एआई भी बना लेता
तो
है।
आपको लग रहा है वेब डेवलपमेंट जो इंडस्ट्री डिस्टर्ब हुई है वो वापस आ जाएगी, या इन लोगों को रीस्केल करना पड़ेगा?
देखिए, अगर मैं जो हूँ ना, मैं अगर किसी को हायर करूँ, ठीक है, मैं अपनी बात करता हूँ क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा नहीं पता था लोगों का जो वेब डेवलपमेंट अभी करवा रहे हैं। मैं बंदे को कहूँगा कि आप जो है एआई यूज़ कर लें एज अ रेफरेंस, ठीक है। कोड को क्लीन अप करें और ये चीज़ें हम ना उसके बाद उसके ऊपर बिल्ड करेंगे। वील यूज़ इट टू क्रिएट लाइक अ फाउंडेशन एंड देन वील बिल्ड ऑन इट।
मैं वो आपकी स्लाइड में रेफर कर रहा हूँ, आप कह रहे हैं कि लोग वापस आ रहे हैं।
हाँ,
आपकी इंडस्ट्री में भी कुछ लोग डिस्प्लेस हुए होंगे। अब
हाँ,
मुझे
हाँ,
एग्जैक्ट नीश नहीं पता।
मेरी इंडस्ट्री में मेजर न्यूज़ नहीं है कि लोग रिप्लेस हुए हों।
किस चीज़ के?
मेजर नहीं है, यानी कि ऐसा होता है कि यूट्यूब वीडियोस पे आता है कि ये लोग इतने निकले, वो नहीं थे। मेरी जो इंडस्ट्री में से निकले वो सिर्फ कॉस्ट कटिंग के लिए निकले, वो एआई की वजह से नहीं निकले।
ठीक है, वो मतलब उन्होंने एक
वो
बना लिया, ठीक है, नैरेटिव बना लिया।
हाँ, कॉस्ट कटिंग की वजह से थी। जो लोग निकले वो कस्टमर सपोर्ट और ये जो ऐसी जॉब्स थी ना जिसके अंदर से कि एचआर जो था वो एक दफ़ा कुछ कंपनीज ने रिप्लेस कर दिया था, उनको फिर वापस बुलाना पड़ा था, वो रिप्लेस हुए थे। तो ये चीज़, और जो एंट्री लेवल जॉब्स थी, इनका एक ज़माने में था कि एंट्री लेवल जॉब जो है वो रिप्लेस होंगी, वो रिप्लेस नहीं हुई। सीनियर से वो एंट्री लेवल जॉब करना शुरू कर दिए। बेसिकली जो एआई है वो कोड जो करता है वो सीनियर्स फिर उसको वो करते हैं, वेरीफाई करते हैं कि वो ठीक है या नहीं है, तो उनका काम डबल हो गया यार। मतलब कि अगर वन था तो 1.5 हो गया।
थैंक यू।
मेरी इंडस्ट्री में एटलीस्ट यही हुआ है कि एंट्री लेवल जॉब्स रिप्लेस नहीं हुई हैं, सीनियर्स को वो करना पड़ रहा है काम।
If somebody wants to pursue a career in AI, in that context, can you guide 2-3 niches in which like he can be do the expertise or do some brief course or diploma or degree?
No, I can't. I can't. Udemy के ऊपर कोर्सेज होंगे, मुझे उसका नहीं पता
सर।
मुझे सीरियसली एआई की कोई भी उसका नहीं पता। मैं हाँ, ये क्या है, डीप लर्निंग सब सीखना।
सर पॉइंट ये है कि अगर यही मैंने एआई को ही जाके कहना है कि मुझे बताओ स्कोप बता दो, तो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस कि मैं आपसे पूछूं और एआई से पूछूं?
मुझे उसका वो नहीं पता ना, जवाब नहीं पता।
सर
देखिए, एआई से मैं भी सवाल पूछता हूँ जिसका मुझे जवाब नहीं पता होता। अब मैं गेम डेवलपमेंट के अंदर, आपने मुझे सवाल पूछा और जो लेक्चर था उसके बारे में था कि आप अपनी फॉर्म करें आइडिया कि AI जो है वो क्या बबल होगा या नहीं होगा. जो आपने सवाल पूछा वो तो इससे वो भी नहीं है रेलेवेंट, इस लिहाज से नहीं है कि ये बात नहीं थी कि AI से आप करियर कैसे बनाते हैं. ठीक है, वो मेरा लेक्चर ये था कि बबल ये है या नहीं है, क्या बर्स्ट होगा, कि AI क्रैश करेगी, ऐसा कुछ होगा, इसके ऊपर था. इन्होंने भी जो बात पूछी थी कि AI ये इसको रिप्लेस करेगी, उसके मैं प्रिपेयर्ड भी नहीं आया था. तो यानी कि इंडस्ट्रीज जो रिप्लेस होंगी, मुझे इतना पता है कि AI डिग्रेड कर रही है. ये डेटा सेंटर जो कैंसिल हो रहे हैं और ये जो सारा कुछ हो रहा है, फेबल जेल ब्रेक हुआ था, दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक. मेरे एक्सपीरियंस के अंदर AI इज टेरेबल राइट नाउ. इन माई कोडिंग इट इज टेरेबल. एंड ये भी नहीं है मैंने कोई चीज़ चेंज की, इट्स जस्ट सिंपली स्लोअर. वो मैं टाइप कर रहा होता नहीं कंप्लीट करता. एक ज़माने में इतना ज़्यादा मेरी ये टाइम मेरा सेव होता था, टाइपिंग आराम से हो रही थी. अब कौन सी इंडस्ट्रीज रिप्लेस होंगी, मैं शायद जो अभी जो हाल है कि प्रोजेक्ट्स कम हो गए हैं, जो कि मेरे फ्रीलांसिंग है, तो शायद AI की वजह से हो, मुझे नहीं पता. लेकिन वो AI की वजह से मुझे लगता है वो ओवरऑल जो दुनिया में मसला हुआ है कि लोग ले ऑफ हो रहे हैं, बाइंग पावर कम है, उसकी वजह से हुआ होगा. ये बात है.
सर, I personally use ChatGPT, Gemini, and
I do.
मेरी छोटी सोच में बस ये होता है कि डेवलप स्केड्यूल एंड वो टेबल बन जाता है, और गिव मी 3-step solution to the uploaded question sort of. सर, एक टर्म बहुत ज़्यादा सुनी है, AI एजेंट. एज अ लेमैन सर, मुझे आप बता सकते हैं कि ये क्या डिफरेंट है जो मैं यूज़ करता हूँ ChatGPT और Gemini का जो एक सर्च इंजन है?
फ़र्क ये है कि ChatGPT जो आप उसको लिखेंगे वो प्रॉम्प्ट आपको आंसर दे देगा. एजेंट्स जो होते हैं डिपेंड करता है कौन सा एजेंट यूज़ करें. अगर आप कहेंगे एजेंट ओपन अप माई ब्राउज़र, राइट एन ईमेल, वो बाकायदा वो करेगा, यानी कि इट्स ऑटोमेशन है बेसिकली, ऑटोमेटिकली रोबोट है, आपके कंप्यूटर पे रोबोट है. एजेंट मैं यूज़ करता हूँ, लेकिन मेरा एक्सपीरियंस नहीं अच्छा हुआ एजेंट्स के साथ.
थोड़ा सा मुझे आइडिया है, बट कहीं सिंपली
देखें, फ़र्ज़ करें कि आप चाहते हैं एजेंट जो आपके फ़ोन पे जाए, एक मैसेज टाइप करे किसी फ्रेंड को. आप एजेंट को प्रॉम्प्ट करेंगे कि मुझे इतने उसके ऊपर, इस टाइम के ऊपर मुझे चाहिए ये मैसेज, मेरे इस दोस्त को चला जाए, वो कर देगा. वही जैसे कि ऑटोमेशन होती है. Question. I can.
All right. So I'm from Montreal, the home of Electronic Arts and Ubisoft. I worked as a QA, game testing, and translating. Could I speak a couple of languages? So you have to translate in that. What is the future of our jobs?
Translation.
Translating, because you can use an AI agent to translate. You don't need me. And you can use that same thing for QA. So what is the future of our jobs?
QA as in game testing?
Yes.
Reliable for fun, AI is not going to replace.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. The fun factor.
It has, because there are some
Electronic Arts
Yeah,
and Ubisoft
yeah.
are. Watch some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
AI is not replacing you. They are basically the bottom line,
Yeah.
right? They want to improve that.
Yeah.
They're saying they're replacing human beings with AI, not because AI is reliable. They want to please the investors.
Oh.
Right? ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा वो बड़ी बात है कि इन्वेस्टर्स को जो है वो करना चाहते हैं. ज़्यादातर जो कंपनी के जो वो लोग हैं उनको like they are, AI is not replacing human beings. AI is being used as an excuse to fire people.
To fire people, yes, yes.
That's what it is.
Yes,
Like
yes.
if you were a freelance, I also offer game testing. I got a project in game testing.
Okay.
So it wasn't human beings can use AI to have better solutions. Companies will use any excuse that they can to increase their stock price, right? Why are companies rehiring? Why is IBM rehired all of those people if AI was that good?
It
Hmm?
has. I
I-
thought IBM was dead.
IBM rehired people. So
Okay.
yeah, they rehired a lot of them. I don't remember the exact number. As far as QA testing goes,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, EA and Ubisoft.
Yeah.
EA, you know, it was
Yeah.
basically 3 times won the worst company of the year, right?
Yes, it has. Yes.
EA itself is a company that is only about profits. They're not going
That's
to they
true.
do not care about
That's
quality.
true. Yes.
In their meetings, it's just about like microtransactions and everything. You know that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they don't care.
My son was he's 22 now. He was 15 or 16 and he's a big gamer. So he was testing games for them and now he's scared that he won't have a job when he goes back to Montreal.
He should
With
be
EA,
scared.
with
He should
EA,
be scared
yeah.
because these companies, like the future is probably freelancing and having multiple.
Yeah.
I do music, I do game testing, I do game development, game design. I've got multiple things, right? Probably I'll have more. I'll probably go into guitar making as well. Like I'll probably learn.
Gibson and
No, like
Ibanez and stuff.
no, not that level. I'll probably start making
Yeah.
guitars. Like
Yeah.
I might do that.
Oh, okay.
I might think about very boring businesses like emergency services. There are many
That's
things that.
nice.
So I mean, yeah. So a person should have multiple avenues.
Multiple, yeah. So speaking of multiple avenues, how can AI be used to make 3D, like you were talking about emergency, 3D skin,
3D
replacing
skin?
human skin for people who get burnt,
I have no idea about that.
scars and stuff.
No
things
idea about that.
Because they have generated human skin, well, skin which replicates human skin, 3D. It was done in Concordia University, the university I went to in Canada. So they have a skin which is almost like human skin. So it's for burnt victims or people who require skin grafting and stuff.
I don't know about that.
So that's emergency services,
Yeah, I don't know
If
about
you
that.
would-
The emergency services that I was talking about were the other ones that just like plumbing and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, so those are also emergency services.
like bombing.
plumbing.
Plumbing.
Why would I say bombing?
I was wondering.
Come on.
Sorry. I have a sorry, my ears are locked. I have a sore throat, and I can't really. I heard no. You speak fast too, so it's
Yeah,
not easy
that's
for
true.
me to. Yeah. All right. So we're not gonna go extinct.
We might.
So AI is gonna replace a translator,
We might.
like for languages and stuff.
I think it has already.
Because I've
Listen,
done Turkish and French
let me-
translation.
Let me be very clear.
Mhm.
When these computers were getting advanced, translations themselves should have been replaced years ago. There's
Oh, come on.
There's a reason for that.
Taking my job away from me.
There's
I know, eh?
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Translations themselves should have been
Yeah.
the job should have been verifiers.
Exactly. Yes.
Verifier should
Yeah,
have been
yeah,
should
exactly.
have
Yeah,
been basically the job.
Yeah.
It should have been replaced from translator to
Yeah.
verifiers.
Verifiers.
Because verification, the final
Yeah.
the final pass should be a
Yeah.
human being.
Yeah.
It is actually good for you. You see if
Well,
the
that's nice to
translation.
hear.
Yeah,
I thought I didn't have a job.
No, verification.
Yeah.
Like listen, on Fiverr, like you can create. I will verify translations
Mm.
or
You mean
proofread.
proofreading? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that isn't going. Proofreading is not going. I mean, it. You can use AI to help you proofread,
Yeah.
but AI can mistakes. Can
Oh,
make
of
mistakes
course. Yeah.
proofreading,
Yeah.
Although they're
Yeah.
very good at it, but they can still.
They can. Yeah.
It really depends on
Yeah.
how the AI is performing that day.
Because I'm not very good at giving prompts to ChatGPT
Yeah.
when I need, because I'm a teacher as well, and I make worksheets and stuff. My 9-year-old student is teaching me how to do prompts, and he's helping me make worksheets for his younger brother and himself. So if our AI people are that young now, where are we gonna go?
We'll be fine. don't
I'm
worry.
50. Like for me,
We'll be
my
fine.
9-year-old student, yeah, he's teaching me how to give proper prompts and stuff.
We'll be fine, and also the entire world's in trouble. Don't worry.
Yeah. He's into game development and stuff. I don't know, like if
Oh, no, please complete.
yeah.
I mean, I was
Yeah, he's into game development because he works with he's learning Scratch, and he's going into
Scratch?
yeah, he's 9 years old. Obviously, I tried to put clothes on his iPad, and his dad had a problem with it because he's now using it to make Roblox, to edit Roblox games and change it according to how he wants it, and Minecraft on Roblox, which is fascinating. But and he's teaching me how to do it, but I'm too old to learn, I guess. So
I'm sorry, but the time is up.
yeah, is
Please.
that it?
Sorry. Thank you.